Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian McCullum, and I'm very excited today to be here to announce the opening of Moons Out 25. This is our annual night vision rifle match. This year, we are expanding it from 8 stages up to 10 stages over the course of 2 nights. That will be the night of March 14 to 15, 2025, and March 15 to 16, 2025. So 10 full stages, all night-oriented stage designs. We'll talk about that in just a minute. And as an extra cool addition this year, we have the crew from Polenar Tactical joining us, and they are actually going to be giving a couple of firearms classes immediately before the match, or the days before the match. So I have all of the details for all of this down in the description text. If you want to find out more about Polenar's offerings, there's a link to their website. If you are familiar with the match and you just want to go straight in and sign up right now, by all means do so. The link to the practice score is also down in the description text. But if you are not familiar with the match, let's talk about what it is. If I were to describe this match as briefly as possible, I would say we have taken the spirit and philosophy and camaraderie of Finnish brutality and Lynx brutality and dropped it into a nighttime environment. So this is a rifle-only match, and it is designed to give those of you guys who have really cool night setups on your rifles a place to actually test them out in a competitive and as real world as we can get environment. So our stages are specifically developed to challenge nighttime skills. We do not allow white light in this event. It is active IR, passive IR, and thermal only. We'll touch on divisions in a minute. But our stages are there to test you doing practical nighttime tasks and practical military style tasks in your nods at night. So we have vehicular stages, we have medical stages, we have stages that require you to be able to focus and get information from a variety of different sources at close and long range, and then engage targets at close and long range. So you'd better be able to actually operate with those nods that you have. If you are considering buying a set of night vision gear specifically to compete in this match, I strongly encourage you, please do not. Go ahead and get the gear, but take a year, practice with it, learn how to use it, and then come to the match. This is not a match for people who do not have prior competition experience. In a philosophical sort of manner, again, this is the Lynx brutality, Finnish brutality, early desert brutality style of thing, where this is intended to be you against the competition, you against the stages. It is not the sort of hyper-competitive, cutthroat you against the other competitors. We are all there to help each and every one of us succeed at taking on these stages. The ROs are there to help you through the stage, not to find random things to DQ you for. That said, we take safety very seriously. We'll touch on that as well in a moment. But first, let's go ahead and talk about the specific divisions that we have for Moons Out 25. We have 3 divisions this year. Once again, of course, white light is not allowed anywhere in the event. So our first division is passive division, and there you are not allowed to emit any infrared light. So no IR illuminator, no IR laser. If you're using a thermal scope, passive is the division for you. Or if you are using just plain passive aiming through something like a red dot with night vision settings, passive is the division. This is the hardest division depending on ambient lighting conditions. It may be not that difficult, or it may be completely impossible on some stages. We have stages that are in the trees in natural terrain, and if it's cloudy and there's no moon, well, we should have moon, but if it's cloudy, you're just not going to have a lot of light and you may be in deep trouble. Of course, everyone else in passive division will be too. Second division is active division. This is maybe a bit straightforward, coming on the tail of passive. Active division means you can use active infrared light. So you can have IR illuminators and IR lasers. Again, no white light, nowhere in the match at all. Our third division is armored, and that is essentially active division, but you're wearing a bunch of crap on you that you have to take through the whole match. We are pulling the requirements for this from the Finnish armored TST division, where you have to have a minimum of 12 kilos of gear. That's 26 pounds of gear. In theory, that is predominantly armor plates, but it doesn't have to be. If you're wearing that much other kit, Awesome, good for you. There are a couple other requirements. You also have to have a liter of water on you. You have to have a knife on you. You have to have a first aid kit with a proper tourniquet on you. Again, this is taken from Finnish reservist division rules, and all the details are down in the description text below. Last year we didn't have the armored division. This year, as a way to separate the people who are going the extra mile by wearing a whole bunch of crap through all the stages, we have armored division for you. This is a rifle-only match. You will need one rifle. Don't bring a handgun. We don't allow handguns on the course of fire at all. Safety is a very serious priority for us here, and we don't want to have any extra firearms, especially small handguns, floating around that we have to worry about and pay attention to. So, rifle only. Basically, the only requirements on the rifle are to meet minimum and maximum caliber standards. The rifle doesn't have any impact on what division you're in, just the sighting systems and illumination systems do. So minimum caliber is 9 by 19 parabellum. Maximum caliber is either anything intermediate, so 5.56, 7.62 by 39, 5.45. If you have 6.8 SPC or 6.5 Grendel, whatever, all those cartridges are fine. If you have a larger cartridge, something in the 308 8mm 54 rimmed class, those need to be subsonic. So if you have a boombox from Q and you want to bring it, awesome. You just have to use subsonic ammunition. And that goes for every AR-10 scale cartridge as well. We don't really care about accessories on the rifle. We don't care if you have a suppressor, go for it. We don't care if you have a machine gun. That's awesome. Definitely bring it if you want to compete with it. We don't care if you have a bipod. Muzzle brakes, we do have the standard, the same limit you'll see for like IPSC of no more than 1 inch in diameter and 3 inches long. But this is a night match. You're supposed to be sneaky and spooky, and if you're like, you should have a flash hider or a suppressor, not a giant compensating muzzle brake anyway. But that pretty much covers the rifle. Again, link to the practice scores in the description text. That includes all of the rules, which have all of the nitpicky details on equipment like this. I don't want to give away all of the surprises, but basically we've taken all of last year's stages, we've made them bigger and better, and we've come up with some additional new cool stuff to have you guys do. So we have a medical task on the clock once again. We have a moving vehicle stage once again, longer than last year's. We have 2 separate shoot houses this year. We have some stage pickup weapons that you'll have to use. We have blind stages. We have stages that require you to use information you receive on the clock to assess what targets to engage. What am I leaving out? But we have a natural terrain trench that is bigger than before and has some cool extra surprises in it this year. So stages are going to be awesome, and we have actually been testing and refining these stages for the last several months to make them as good as possible. We all know that safety is the primary concern for shooting competitions, but that's doubly so for a shooting competition at night. Everything is harder in the dark. So first off, this is our 3rd year running this event with the same core group of range officers and safety staff. We know what we're doing, and we're pretty darn good at it at this point. I'm very happy to say that in previous years, we have never had a safety problem, and we look forward to continuing that record in 2025. Now, to do that, we do have a couple of rules and protocols that are a little bit different from what you will encounter at other daytime matches. One of them is that our squads all travel as a group. We have basically a dedicated squad mom officiant for each squad who makes sure that everyone from the squad is always together. At each stage, we don't want to lose people wandering off into the dark, obviously. We also do not allow your buddies to film you while you're shooting. If they want to film you from the general squad assembly area, that's just fine, but we can't have anyone following you through the stage. Simply because we want to minimize the number of people who are running around in natural terrain through obstacles with firearms. So filming yourself is just fine. By all means, if you want to do it, bring a GoPro, mount something on your gun. That's awesome. But unfortunately, we don't allow your buddy to follow behind you, filming you, and it's just a safety protocol. The match takes place at the Echo Valley Training Center, just across the Virginia border into West Virginia. I have the address down in the description text. You can check it out on Google Maps. The nearest town is Winchester, Virginia. The nearest airport, for those of you who want to fly into the match, is Dulles. Despite always being associated with Washington, D.C., Dulles International Airport is in Virginia. So if you are flying in with guns, You don't have to worry about DC gun laws. You just have to worry about Virginia gun laws, which are pretty good still. I flew in last year with my guns. Wasn't a problem at all. So Dulles is your airport destination. Camping is allowed on site at Echo Valley. You can even light a fire if you want to, but it will be cold. This is going to be March. There may be rain, there may be snow. We don't know. We'll find out when the event is at hand. If you're going to camp, make sure you are prepared for all possible conditions camping. Beyond that, hotels around Winchester, Virginia are your best bet, or there are some Airbnb residences around that are available as well. This is definitely an expensive match. Registration fee is $350, but we are pretty confident that we have 10 stages of action that is going to be well worth your money. In addition, of course, as in previous years, we are planning to have a pretty awesome prize table. Our goal, as always, is that the average prize is equal to the entry fee. So not everyone is going to walk home with thousands of dollars worth of cool prize table stuff, but some of you guys will, and everyone will have a random opportunity at the prize table. So whether you placed first or placed last, you have the same shot at what we hope to be a really cool, really fun prize table. All right, I think that pretty well covers everything. If you would like the details of the Polenar Tactical classes / meetups that are going to be done in conjunction with the match, that link is in the description text below, as is, of course, the Practice Score registration link. So if you have some competition experience and you have some time on your night vision equipment and you want to come see how they do on the clock, well, hit up that Practice Score link, sign up, join us. We have 9 squads open for you guys, and we are very excited for the match. It's been a whole bunch of fun the last couple of years, and it's only going to be bigger and better this year. See you there.